Hello everyone, welcome to this AutoCAD tutorial on how to create a simple camera. And let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be designing this camera over here. So hopefully you can see it and its dimensions. And then we're going to head over and create a new file in AutoCAD. And we first want to draw it from the front view. So make sure you're facing the front. I'm going to click on where it says top, head over to front. And then I'm going to zoom out a little bit just because this is a fairly large camera and I want to make sure I get all the dimensions. And we're going to start by drawing the body of the camera. So go ahead and type in rectangle, R-E-C-T, enter, and then click somewhere to specify your first point. And then we're going to type in the length of the camera. So don't click again, but type in 100, press tab on the keyboard, and then type in the width, which is 60. And then press enter. And if you did so correctly, you should have the body of the camera. And if you're wondering where I got 60 from, if we take 50 plus 10, it's 60, and this is the 100. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. We definitely want to extrude this, but let's go ahead and get 3 views before we do that. Where the little hyphen is, switch over to viewport, and then go to 3 left. It's going to create 3 different viewports, and the first one is always our isometric. So while holding down the shift key and the middle scroll wheel of the mouse, I'm going to rotate it and just kind of get a nice isometric view of this. And while on this view, I'm also going to be extruding out that body. So use the extrude command, EXT, enter, select this object, enter, and we're going to go out a total of 30 units. So I'm going to type in 30, and then I'm going to press enter. And if you did so correctly, we've just created the body of the camera. Next, let's go ahead and add in the lens. The lens has a diameter of 50, it's extruded 20, and it's on this front surface. So to be on that front surface, you're going to want to make sure you're on the front view. And because we're using this currently for isometric, I'm going to select this view to be our front. And if it's not on your front, make sure it's on your front. Then with this view selected, we're going to draw out 2 lines to help position this circle. So use the polyline command, P-line, enter, while you're on this view, but then go over to this view and start with this corner over here. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to drag down vertically, and you notice that I can move freely, so make sure your ortho mode is on. I'm going to go down, and this is going to go down a total of, since this is in the center, 30 units, so type in 30, enter, and then I'm going to go out horizontally a total of 50 units, enter. And you'll notice right away, if I press escape a few times, I now have a circle or a line that takes me directly to the center, so I can draw my circle there. And now I'm going to use my circle on this view, enter, and I'm going to click on this point, and this has a diameter of 50, so I'm going to type in D first, enter, and then I'm going to type in 50, enter. And if you did that correctly, you're going to notice that it's now on the front of our camera. So on our front, we can use the extrude command, EXT, enter, select the circle part, enter, and extrude this out a total of 20 units, enter. So now we have the front. Next, let's go ahead and add in our 2 buttons. That is on the top of the camera, so on this view, switch over to top. And if you're not sure if that's the top, I could rotate it to prove it. It's the top. Okay? And while this view is selected, let's go ahead and put in our markers to specify exactly where we should be drawing this. I'm going to use the polyline command again, P-line, enter. And then I'm going to go to my isometric and click on a corner. And the reason I do this here is because it will always select the top corner, whereas if I do it in this view, it might select the bottom one, and that will mess everything up. So I'm going to click there, and then I'm going to go out a total of 15 units, enter. And then I'm going to go to the side a total of 15 units, enter. So that is the center of where this square is going to go. Let's also do the same for the circle. So P-line, enter. And then back here, I'm going to start at this corner, go down, a total of 15 units, and then go up a total of 15 units. So that is where the circle needs to go. Okay? Let's go ahead and draw in the rectangle first. In this view over here, I'm going to use the rectangle command again, REC, enter. And I'm going to start from this point. I'm going to draw out a 10, tab, 10, enter, rectangle. So you'll see that it positioned it, but it didn't quite position it correctly. That's fine. Use the move command, enter, and you're just going to select the rectangle, enter, and then hovering over it to the side, you'll notice that that little triangle should be appearing. And then I could go to the center, click on it, and move it over to here. So now it's centered correctly. If for some reason it's not showing up like it is for me, just make sure your object snap settings are on. It's down here. Click that, go to object snap settings, and make sure these are all checked in. If they are, it should just snap in really smoothly. Okay, let's also then move over to this side and draw out the circle. So circle, enter, and then I'm going to click at the center point, type in D for diameter, enter, and this circle has a diameter of 20 units. So 20, enter. Okay, press escape a few times. Everything else is looking good, so back at our top view, let's go ahead and extrude out these two objects, enter. I'm going to click on that, as well as the circle, press enter, and these are both extruded a total of 5 units, enter. So we got these two now in place. Lastly, we need to draw out this little lens portion, or the flash portion, I guess, and that is kind of the best way to draw. It's from the right over here, the right side, and you can tell it's right because of this. So before we switch on this top view over here, let's just draw out where we're going to have it starting, and that's going to be 35 units across. So use the line tool, enter, then click on the isometric, click on this corner, and move out 35 units. So I'm going to type in 35 and press enter right there. And then let's go ahead and draw out the top since it's letting us. That's going to be a total of 10 units, enter. Oh, and it's letting me draw this part as well. Cool. And we don't exactly know the position of this, so I'm going to draw it out to, let's say, this point. Click once there, press escape, and then let's switch over to the right view. So we're looking at the right, and on this one, we're going to use the line tool again, enter, go over here, click on that point, and we're going to extend this out to this line. Press escape a few times, head over to the right view, type in line, enter. Then I'm going to click at this corner point here, and I'm going to go at an angle. Now it's hard to specify the angle, so I'm going to press tab, and tab to the angle. Yeah, it's actually getting in my way. Tab over here, so where it says 90, I'm going to type in 45, enter, and you'll notice if I press escape a few times that I've drawn out that line. You can see it over here. It's not in the right place, that's fine. Use the move command, enter. Whoops, on this view over here, move, enter. Select the line, enter, and then we're going to click at it and we're going to move it from that point over to this point. So you can notice right away that we have all our lines, it's just that there's a few sticking out. So use the trim command next, trim, enter, select all this portion, enter, and then we're going to trim off these two. So we're left with that. We're going to use the join command, enter, and we're going to select select the entire object, press enter, and if you did it correctly, it should have merged into one polyline. And then we are going to extrude it out 30 units. So use the extrude command, enter, click on this object, enter, and move out 30 units, like so. I'm going to press escape a few times, and I'm going to switch back to a single view. And there you go. We've successfully designed this camera in AutoCAD. If you want to clean up a bit, you can turn off these lines that we use to help us draw out the profiles, and in addition, you can switch over to a more realistic view to check it out there. Okay, but that's going to conclude this tutorial. Hopefully you found it useful, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Peace.